Right lads, alright. Right, I'm going to do something a little bit different today. You know a bit about the Astra VXR, obviously I've been speaking about it a lot in my videos. You've seen me doing things to it. So I'm quite an honest, open guy, so I'm going to talk about the cars I've had in the past. So I'm just going to give you a talk about the cars, why I got them, and a couple of bits I've done to the cars. So then you guys know, like, if there's other car people out there who've got other cars, you know what I've had and what problems I've had and things. There's another thing as well, get used to me drinking tea. I love a cup of tea. I'm currently in my room at work because I come back yesterday after a nice long weekend, and my roommate has said he has a sore throat and things like that, so he's had to go into isolation, which means I'm not allowed out of here, so I'm chilling out here. So I thought I'll just do a little talk on this. I've had this idea for a while, so I thought I'd just crack on with it. Yeah, so I'll start off by mentioning I've been driving since August 2013. Yes, I sound like an old shit, but I had a good list of cars. Right, so I'll start off. I passed in 2013, August, and I had my first car. Now, it was a blue Peugeot 106. It was a 1.1, and I had it for free off my granddad as a passing present. Now, this car was probably one of my most fun cars. I give it death everywhere. Young, 18, just hopped in it, and I was just bopping it off the limiter everywhere it would go. Within the first month of owning it, I smashed up the piston rings and I had blue smoke puffing out the back, but that didn't stop me. The little thing kept going, kept going. I stuck the biggest exhaust on it, like, I'm not joking, it's like something off a Subaru on the back. I literally connected the car to the exhaust. Now, I haven't got pictures of all these cars. I wish I did. I would put them in the video for you guys so you could see these cars, but the people who do know me, you know the cars I've had, and I've had some decent cars. Obviously I start off with the shit cars first because I was younger, couldn't afford decent cars. So during the time I had my 106, I ended up swapping my Xbox for a 1.4 Saxo Furio, it was, in red. Now I thought, fuck me, I'm getting a bargain here, Xbox 360 for one of them. And then I got it home. I knew there was some rot in the boot. I knew it was rotten. I thought my dad would be able to fix it. I bring it home, get it on the drive, and my dad says, "Okay, now what have you bought me here?" He stood on the back bumper. The axle came into the boot, like the boot folded like that. Came up, axle was in the boot. So I was like, "Well, that's shit, isn't it?" So what I decided to do, I still had my 106 at the time. I stripped my 106's engine, put the engine out of the 1.4 Furio into my 106, so it was a bit quicker, and I changed the drums on the back to discs and pads, the front brakes to the bigger brakes that were on the Furio. Now, took the shell, sent that off to the scrap. That was the end of that car, lasted me about 2 weeks. And then I came to the end. Obviously I had a bit more fun with the 106, and then my friend was selling his 1.4 106 Quicksilver. This is, no. I bought this car off him for about £800. It was slammed. It was what every young lad, like, it was gorgeous. It was the cleanest car. One thing I did with it, which was the biggest mistake, I got it home and there was like tar all over it, and I didn't know nothing about car detailing, so I go and grab my mum's pan scourer out of the kitchen and thought, yeah boy, I'm gonna give that a good pan scouring. Like, I'm making me laugh thinking about it. I was scrubbing every bit of dirt off it with it, and then at the end I literally had scratches. Like, you can see every single scrub I did on that car. And my dad come out creasing at me, managed to get the T-cut on it, and it did polish out. After that it became a real clean car, like the cleanest car probably the cleanest car I've ever had. Within a couple of months of owning that, the back axle went. They had trailing arms on them, and it started like going like that, bending and loosening on the bearing. So I had to went to the scrapyard. got a new rear axle for that, and then got that fitted. For some reason, when I got it fitted, we lowered the car, and say the axle's there with the wheels. For some reason, I said the arch gap was like this, so I was riding along like this, like on a slant like that. I looked like some sort of dune buggy or something. So I quickly took that to Demon Tweaks. They had a task to get the torsion bars out, but they got it done in the end, and yeah, we got it slammed it back how it was. I did a few things to this car. I stuck a full exhaust system, decat, I had it spitting flames, induction kit, things like that. Yeah, that's all I really did with that. I didn't really modify it too much. I kept how it was because it was a lovely car. I stuck some Citroen Saxo VTS alloys on it, and that's it for that car really. So then we come to the end of that car. Now I got bored of it, and I thought I wanted something a bit more solid. I don't know why I thought of this car, but my mate wanted to swap his 1.2 Renault Clio. It was all black, it was done up, nice wheels, it was a nice car. I know people are gonna laugh when I want like a Clio, but it was nice to drive, smooth compared to my 106. Like, that thing was solid, like I just rattled like mad. I got that, and I developed a misfire within the first few weeks of having it, and I was like, yeah, this car's got to go. So some guy, I can't remember where he was from, I travelled like 3 hours, I think it was, to go and pick up my next car, which was another 106 Quicksilver, but it was a GTI converted Quicksilver. It had high lift cams, it was mapped. It was going from a 1.2 to that. I was like, oh my, I was absolutely giving it the beans on the way home. The lad, unfortunately, I told him about the misfire, and then yeah, the car threw a rod or something, he said. I think he sent me a picture. The rod went through the block, so he ended up scrapping that, I think. Anyway, I got home and I was like, I wanted to show one of the boys how well this car went. So he hops in it, comes to the first bypass, going up Slit Road, absolutely giving it death. Changed from first to second, and I blew second gear up. Now, I didn't actually blow second gear up. I thought it was blown up, but on inspection, I ripped where the gearbox sits. The mount goes onto the chassis. I literally ripped it off, like ripped it clean off, and the gearbox was like moving around like that. To be honest, that car was rough. It wasn't converted properly. It was rough. It was lumpy, but it did have the high lift cam, so that didn't help. I spent loads of money trying to fix it. Eventually, I parked it up at my granddad's, and I bought a Golf Mark IV GT TDI off him. Now, this thing had a blown turbo, so I paid for a new turbo core. My dad fitted it, and I thought this was a lovely car. I was driving around and it was like, oh, it's smooth. It was blowing, like, puffing out blue smoke. Now, we thought, oh, the piston rings are gone, or something like that. And on inspection, my dad realised that the actuator that turns the boost up or something was turned up too high. So literally, as soon as I started the car, I was sitting there boosting, and it was just pumping out smoke. So my dad turned that down, and the blue smoke went. So the blue smoke went, and I run this I didn't keep it long, to be honest, a few months. Didn't really enjoy it. It got boring. I did like EGR deletes. I didn't do much to it, to be honest. EGR delete, just blanked a few things off. I was going to map it, but I didn't think there was much point, because I knew I wasn't going to keep it long. Then, after having that for a bit, I was with some girl at the time, and she wanted to sell me her 1.2 Clio. It was mint condition, like it was low mileage, pristine, and I thought, do you know what, I need a chilled out car, because the cars I've had so far was giving me hell. So I ended up selling the Golf, and I sold the GTI converted Quicksilver. At the time I had both, and I sold them both. Bought this off her for around 500 quid, and it was only done like 40 odd thousand miles. It was the cheapest thing I've ever bought. First thing I do to it, I was going to keep it standard, but I thought, got to change it. I slammed it. It was on the floor. I went straight to my granddad's, new springs, slammed it on the floor. Now, it looked good. It was clean. It looked good. I did enjoy it. But then I got bored. It was too slow. I thought, this thing is too slow. So I was driving up and down past this garage to work and back home quite regularly, and then I kept always seeing this ST, Fiesta ST, the 2 litre one, ST 150 is it, I think it is. And I saw that red, white striped. I kept looking at it thinking, oh, that's gorgeous, that is. So what do? I go in there, think, I want that. Traded in my Clio, which was in mint condition, and they were like, yeah, we're not going to sell this on the forecourt, it's not as yet. And I was like, okay, yes. Anyway, I got this Fiesta, in love with it. The first car, I modified this thing quite a bit. So the first thing I did, I put Bowler B1s on it. No, rotor grids, both look the bloody same. Put rotor grids on it, the low line kit all around, bigger spoiler, induction kit, exhaust system. I put a Sportex, I think it was, just eBay one. I put that on it. It was lowered. Did quite a bit to it. I quite enjoyed the car, but then I started having problems, and it was on warranty, and the garage wouldn't do it because I modified it. So if you've got warranty, boys, don't modify your car. It's not worth it. They'll just see you a write-off. So I couldn't get out of that really, and then I had to trade it in against. So I had another problem, because I had that problem with that car, because the engine started leaking oil, not leaking oil, it was using loads of oil. And then I was like, oh, I've had enough of bloody performance cars and things like that. So then I go and get a 1.2 Corsa, 2015 reg. Don't know why I did it, but I thought, oh, let's have a sensible car, because I was trying to save at the time. Anyway, I'll go and get this car, trade mine in, and they were like, yeah, you can do what you want with the ST, you can take things out of it and sell it. So what do? Straight away, I'd strip the seats out of it, I had the full leather seats in it, I put normal Fiesta seats in it, wheels off, or everything I put on it I took off, sold it all, made a bit of money. So I bought this Corsa, drove home in it, I was like, this is the smoothest car I've ever driven. Like, oh, I've had all these rattly old things. And I was like, I'm impressed with this, it's really nice. Didn't really have any problems with it. I didn't have it very long either, to be honest. And then the guy who sold me the first Quicksilver, he comes along and tells me I'm selling my Corsa VXR, which he had. This was a red one, the Corsa D. I thought, oh, I literally, the day he had it, I went in it and I was like, I love this car, I want it. So he comes to sell it. I come up with a plan, got rid of my Corsa that I had now, the 1.2, and bought his VXR off him. I think I paid about £4,000 or something like that for it. It was on 64k miles or something like that, so I got a good price on that. It was in relatively good condition. What did I do? I did a few things to that. Put Team Dynamic wheels on it, brand new, straight from Demon Tweaks. Induction kit, staged one it was running about 210 brake, I think it was. That was done in Demon Tweaks. Didn't really put no splitters on this. I don't know why I didn't put splitters on it, but yeah, that was all I really did to it, to be honest. Didn't really do exhaust system. I put a full Scorpion exhaust system on it, because I loved the pops and bangs they made, so I thought I gotta get that done. Anyway, that car was short-lived. I had it for, it might be about a year, that one, and then it started smoking. I was like, oh, I can't be dealing with this. So after that, some other lad I know local to me, he's like putting on Facebook his 520D he's selling, BMW, and this thing was immaculate. Like, it was gorgeous. It had the big spider wheels on it, it was lovely. So I sold the VXR to some garage. They came on a low loader, picked it up. I can't remember roughly how much I got for that, about £2,500 I think. So that went off, and I bought the 520D. Now, I didn't really have this long either, to be honest. I haven't had many of my cars long. So I quickly got it, drove it back, and the first thing I did was change the colour of the wheels. They were a bit tacky. It was the only thing that was tacky. The bodywork was immaculate. I changed the colour of the wheels to gloss black, had my calipers done yellow. Now it looked really nice. There's not a lot I did to this car. I just cleaned it up. There was like, do you know, like you get wear on the gear stick, things like that. I just did all that. And yeah, that's about it. I got the windows tinted, sun strip, grills, it's little things like that. And then I got bored of it. I thought, I don't know why I buy diesels, boys, because as soon as I have a diesel, it's gone within a couple of months because I just don't like the sound of them. So I see that I put on my Facebook, this car, the BMW, is up for swaps, and I get a message about a Focus ST Mark II. This was silver one I had. Now I was like, fucking hell, I'm not gonna be able to insure one of them. 2.5. Anyway, do a quote, cheaper than the BMW. I thought, sweet, I'm having that. So I met up with a guy, looked around the car. I was like, yeah, it's quite clean. A few things, like you could tell they've been resprayed, but I wasn't really fussed, to be honest. Looked around the engine. I didn't know much about cars at the time, and I was like, yeah, it looks all right. Didn't see anything out the ordinary. So I drive it back. I ended up getting it booked in for a block mod. I had new induction kit. I had exhaust system. I spent £4 on it in one day, literally, like £4 gone. Yeah, but it sounded mint. But when they were redoing it, it was done a BD performance. When I had it done, my head was, I think it was like all warped. Something was wrong with the head anyway. I'd have a replaced head, so I had the head replaced. Then the boys got it back together, and it was running sweet. I changed the wheels to Bowler B1s on that. That was Demon tweaks again. I've lost count of how many wheels I've had, lads. Lost count. Like, it's ridiculous how many wheels I have owned. There's not really much else I did to it. I think that's about it. I didn't lower it. I didn't have it long enough. I was doing my training at the time of having this car, so I might have actually had this car for a year, because quite a lot of the time I had this car I was in training, and I didn't really drive it much. So it came to the end of that car. I put it up for swaps on Facebook again. I said I wanted another diesel because I was travelling miles and miles. Now, some guy messaged me. It was 52,000 miles on a BMW 1 Series, and I thought, fucking hell, that's sweet, that. So he comes round, checks out my car, check out his. I'm like, yeah, sweet, we're swapping. Same day swap. He's gone, got the car. Now I modified this thing to death. This is how my Instagram grew the most, because of this 1 Series. I changed the bumpers, front and rear bumpers. I changed to the M1 style exhaust system. I absolutely slammed it on its arse. Changed the grills. I had splitters the whole way around the car. I did like neon lights, roof spoilers. I did everything. Windows tinted. I did loads of stuff to it. I spent a fortune. Like during the main lockdown we had, I got sent home for 3 months from work, and I just 3 months of my wage, I absolutely threw it at that car, because I had nothing to do. I was in lockdown. I was just outside the house. Just everything was done outside the house. So I had to take the bumpers, because the bumpers were off eBay, and then I had to take them to get resprayed by some guy, and yeah, it took a while, but I built this car. If you check out my Instagram, it'll come up on the screen now. Yeah, there's a picture of quite a few of my cars on there. Not like the old ones, but that's in the most recent 5. So you can check them out on there. So then, same again. I got bored of it. I couldn't get it to sound nice. I put an exhaust in and it didn't sound nice. I got bored of it. It looked the balls. It looked the bee's knees. It was lovely. But I thought, I fancy another Focus ST. So I put it up for swaps. Get a low mileage ST offered to me. But at the time I found that when I went to trade it with the guy, he did a check and it came up as a Cat C. No, Cat C or Cat S. It was structural damage or chassis or something. And I was like, oh mate, because when I did my check when I bought it, it didn't come up. And I was like, mate, I'm so sorry, I didn't even know. And he said, to be honest mate, the car's gorgeous. I can see there's no damage. So he did the swap with me, he did the swap. Now, this ST was immaculate. Like, it's probably one of the nicest cars I've had. Now, when I got it, it had a front mount intercooler, downpipe, it had a few things done. It was stage 1. It was a quick car, sounded nice. So the first thing I go and do is change the exhaust system. Of course, I like the sound of ST when they pop, so I changed the exhaust system. Changed the air filter because it was mangled up, that one that was on it. Changed the downpipe, had a few snags with that. My dad was doing it, and the bolts and the turbo like cross-threaded, and we had a right nightmare trying to get them in. Didn't do no cosmetics, I already had front splitters on it. I stage 2'd it, BD Performance again, and I had a bit of overrun on it. You should have heard it, it was savage. Like, I think there might be a video in my highlights on my Instagram again if you want to check that out. It was popping like mad. But then I had enough fuel in it, because 2.5 litre ST driving 6 hours one way, like one way and then one way back, like 6, so altogether I was driving 12 hours. Yeah, I just couldn't afford it, so I had to get rid of it. Now, I went to, I'm not even going to mention the company because I absolutely hate them. I went to this place and I traded in my ST, and I bought a Mercedes C250 from them. Now, to be honest, I didn't have any problem. I can't slate them because I didn't have any problems with this car. Well, I did. I had a wheel bearing go within the first like 2 weeks, but they replaced it. They got it fixed, so I can't fault them for that. So I had the Mercedes, and I thought, I'm not doing anything to this. Lovely car, you know, classy car. I thought, I'm not doing nothing. Couldn't resist, could I, boys? I couldn't resist. Straight to Demon Tweaks, new set of boulders. Blacked it, the car was blacked out, I blacked it out. I tinted the windows, I got my mate around, he wrapped all my chromes. That's the guy I was with in the pink car the other day, he wrapped all my chromes for me. I changed the grille, and then I lowered it, splitter on the front. Didn't do anything to the power, I left out exactly how it was. I didn't buy it for power. To be honest, I didn't even buy it to modify it, but I cannot resist. But that car was short-lived. I had it for about 3 months, let's say about 3 to 4 months, if that. So then I go back to this place because I didn't have any problems with them. I went back there and I said, can I trade this for that Corsa VXR? Now, many of you might know my old Corsa VXR with the registration glossy. It was the purple wrapped one. Yeah, if you boys know it, you'll know how much shit I had with that car. Still having shit with it now. So I bought that from there, and I literally just swapped it, traded it in and got that. Now, this car was modified to death. Like, if you look at my Instagram highlights again, you'll see it was a lovely looking Corsa, but I had nothing but problems. First week I had it, I was misfiring on idle. It was sent to different places to be fixed. Still kept going. Eventually I got it rejected and it's been sent back, but I still haven't had my money back, and I'm just arguing case after case. That was short-lived. 4 months. I owned it and I drove it about 4 times. It was in the garage near enough the whole time, and I was just using other people's cars. So that company, if you know them, if you know who I'm on about, I don't recommend them. I'll say this as a review. Don't fucking go there. If you want to know who they are, just message me. So I've managed to get that Corsa back, and I've now got my Astra VXR. So you boys have been seeing the progress on that. I post videos every time I do something to it. We're getting there, like, just working on things, getting it done. I got my exhaust system booked in, as you boys know, so that's going to be savage. It's going to be sounding savage. One of my biggest plans is to air it. I don't know when it's going to be, it'll be a while. My plan is to keep this car because I do enjoy it. It's low mileage, it's on 26k, and it's a 2012 plate. I got it, like, if you look on eBay how much my Astra is, like for one of my Astras, they're going for about 60k miles and they're nearly like 10 grand, something like that. They may be even more. I got mine for 9 grand with, I think it was 23 or 24k on it. So I've done a bit of mileage because I travel a lot. But for that money, like, the car it's good. I've had a few snags, but I've sorted most of it out now. Got a few more bits to do, but I'll keep you boys posted. So basically, boys, this video was basically, I'm stuck in my room. I thought I'd just make a video to talk about my past cars, so you guys know, like the regular ones watching the channel, you know that I've had a good list of cars. So if you've got any of them cars that I've listed, I know quite a bit about most of them, to be honest, because I have done a lot of work to all of them. So if you've got anything, just let me know. Just message me on Instagram. Yeah. So if you would, just like, comment, subscribe. Just comment what you think of some of the cars I've had. If If you want to know any information about any of the cars I've had, if you want to know about the company I mentioned, sorry, I thought someone was coming in then. If you want to know about the company I've mentioned, just message me. I've got no shame in telling you. Yeah, so we'll leave it at that. Thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one, boys. See you later.